Are you a CEO struggling to get your team to integrate AI properly? Or an operator getting daily tasks from your CEO to integrate all these amazing tools they found on TikTok or Instagram, watching them drown the team without even realizing it? What causes this, and how can we stop CEOs from ruining their own business? In this video, I'm going to be breaking it down as a CEO and an operator. The things I was doing that created massive business problems. Trust me, this is a huge one. But before we get into it, I'm running a challenge for myself in the month of February to post 196 plus unique pieces of content across social media using an AI system that I've built for myself. This is a challenge to prove it's possible while running a business and to show that posting this much content, how it could change the trajectory of your business as well. So to follow along, like, subscribe here, and head over to my Instagram page and direct message me 196 to be one of the first to get the exact system once the month of February is complete. Now, most importantly, back to your CEO. I like to use the water bucket analogy. It's something that I speak to a lot of our clients with. I actually do a lot of work with CEOs in general, because when we can have our CEOs understand how AI works, it unlocks the rest of the team to be able to actually scale what they're trying to do, the vision. CEOs are the visionaries. We know that I want to do this. Like they're always one step ahead, 5 steps ahead, 10 steps ahead. And as operators, we actually need to slow down the visionaries so the team can actually do the work to be able to accomplish the vision. It's a really chicken and an egg scenario. So with the water bucket, this is our water bucket. We have the water filling up. This could just be the different services that we have. The CEO is always putting more vision into the actual business itself. And each one of these waves is something else that they've added. Now adding in more AI tools, technologies, everything that they're seeing their competitors doing and all the success they're having, they want their team to do the exact same. The problem with it is, as it continues to fill up, it starts to pour over. Now, understanding as a CEO what's already in the bucket, if it's broken, if it needs to be fixed, and the mechanics behind the bucket itself is the most important place for business to start, especially a CEO. Because once they understand that, the CEO and the operator, the COO, they start working in sync to be able to pass that vision onto the team at hand to be able to, again, accomplish that vision. All these new tools on the market, all the new integrations that they're seeing, you don't actually need them. That is the biggest thing that we talk to CEOs all the time about. Your business is running. You have the proven processes. You already know what you're trying to accomplish, and adding all these tools doesn't actually help. You need to fix it, because typically instead of adding more vision into the business, if you just go back and look where the water's already leaking, this could just be in your sales, this could be in your onboarding, this could be in customer support, in content, wherever it may be, you may have cracks in your business already, where if you go and you seal those cracks, you're going to start driving more revenue and more profit. Because at the end of the day, majority of CEOs, they just want to generate more profit and they want to see the business grow. And as the vision continues to evolve, this is where they become extremely happy. I'm only speaking out of experience because this is what I've done and I continue to do. So me even getting back into the operations role was a huge step forward for not only myself personally, but for our business to really understand how each department works. With AI, all of these systems we're trying to get our team to integrate. You've got to understand, it's like they don't even understand how it works yet. 95% of people have no clue how AI works. They really don't. So as a CEO, you're giving it to an operator who doesn't have a clue, who's giving it to a team member who doesn't have a clue. How can you expect them to integrate AI properly? It's just not fair. And with businesses, it always is top down. always is top down. Businesses that don't grow start from the top. It's top down until it's bottom up. I heard that from a good friend of mine, Eddie Malouf. And until you get your business to that point, you will never hit scale. You'll always hit that that ceiling that you essentially are running into. That's why you're listening to this video and why I'm talking about this right now. It's something that I constantly have conversations with operators and CEOs. Because again, like I was saying, your team is not actually the problem. It's you not understanding how the team needs to integrate it is the actual problem itself. So with that being said, you're wasting resources. You're overfilling this bucket. The cracks are in it. Your team doesn't know what's going on. Your operator doesn't know what's going on. Nothing seems to be getting done. It seems like your competitors are getting ahead of you, but you don't know why. Because you're always the business that was one step ahead of everybody. It's because as a CEO, majority of the time, our egos has kept us away from operations because I'm the visionary. I don't want to get in operations. The problem with that is this is a new world for everybody. And the quicker you can drop that ego and get back into the actual bucket itself and understand how these systems work, understand what your team needs to do, understand what actually technologies and tools you need to integrate them, the faster you will get to the success that you're trying to do. So with AI, there's a lot of things. I talk about these in other videos. So I'm just going to erase this here because we're going to be fixing the bucket now. And we're going to start with the bucket because as CEOs and operators, this is what we're supposed to do. So the CEO sits down with the operator. Okay, what are we trying to accomplish? So we've got the vision. Whatever it may be. This is a new vision. This is an old vision that still hasn't been accomplished. And we look at this bucket. Where is it cracked? Where are we leaking profit? Where are the team members not understanding what's going on? We can't add more things into the bucket yet because we have cracks in the actual business itself. So we need to fix those first. This could be customer support. This could be sales. This could be content. This could be advertising. This could be client success. This could be onboarding, which is a big one. And I have that one near the bottom because it's one of the most important systems that you can build for the success of AI within your ecosystem and as you continue to scale. Once you have that, you, the CEO, and the operator, if you have one, go into each one of these with the team members and understand where they're running into those frictions, how you can help guide them to the next step, understanding what they're doing every single day so you can build the AI system to start. I'm just going to put this in. I'm just going to put this in red because it's, crack. Put it in red because that we're essentially patching it. That's what we're doing. We're patching up these buckets. So we go into onboarding. What's going on? What's broken? Sales comes through and then it gets past the fulfillment and things aren't being delivered properly. Why? Well, something in onboarding could be broken. What could we collect? What could we do? What could we automate? What could we not automate? Do we have to bring in somebody else? Can AI actually help us? Are there tools and technologies on the market that could be in here? But you're starting to understand the systems. As you go through these, and not sure why those keep doing that, but you start patching all these things. Now it seems like it's repetitive work. It seems like, well, I'm the CEO. I need to work on high level vision. Well, unfortunately, your business isn't growing because all you're doing is focusing on high level vision and you got cracks in your bucket itself. So when you go back in with your operator, there's two things that you're accomplishing. You're looking at, one, the processes and why they're broken. And two, you're helping fix. So there's an understanding and then there's a fixing. But when you're fixing these problems, you're looking at where you can integrate AI into the whole system itself. This is where you're starting to properly integrate AI into the business. But with this, what you're starting to understand is AI is not that complicated. You're the complex human that's making it complicated because you don't need all these shiny objects that are on the market. What you actually have is you start understanding the process, the 4-part process, 4-part, where there's inspiration always, or input, information going in to the AI. There's your agent or your prompt. And I've got other videos where I'm going to be talking about this 4-part process because it's too much for this video itself. Then you got human in the loop. Human in the loop. Guess what? This is the person who is at that role that you were just working with. AI is not at the point where it can fully be autonomous. It is not. You should always have somebody checking, doing the quality assurance, especially when it has to do with your customers. So they're the expert. They're the person you've hired to be able to do the work. So it's like when you fix their process, you understand how it works. You now put together this 4-part process, and then there's your output. So this is the quality of your actual business itself. So because these people understand the quality that they're supposed to deliver based on the processes that you've given them, based on the vision, we're all now on the same page. You understand the 4-part process that is copy and paste for every single one of these. It's the same thing. So the first one may seem like a pain in the ass. The second one, again, may seem like a pain in the ass. But as you start going through it, you start to truly understand how AI works, what's broken, how you can fix it. So then you and your operator are again back on the exact same page. Once you have that, then what you do, because all of these things are fixed, you start filling the bucket up. And what happens is your bucket grows. Or another way to look at it, you start adding more buckets because you know how to duplicate the process because it is the same thing every single time. There's some nuances that go in there, and that's where it gets a little bit more complex, but you fix the processes, understand the processes, help fix them, follow the 4-part process, and you as a CEO and an operator become in sync again because the amount of businesses that I speak to where the operator and the CEO are not even remotely close to in sync is astonishing to me, which is why I believe most buckets are actually broken or cracked, which is why they overflow and why businesses hit ceilings, because the CEOs won't drop their egos and the operators sometimes don't have the stones to be able to talk to their CEO about it. Case in point. You continue to build these buckets, you continue to understand the process, but it will get to a point where the CEO can go back into the visionary role because you're on the same page of how these things work. Your operator will get to a point where they can do this duplication for you. And if they have questions, you can go into this part, expedite it, and get back out, going back into that visionary role. It doesn't have to be complicated. I talk about this all the time. We're complex humans, so we make sure that everything's super complicated for some freaking reason. I still do it. I do it today. But working on the simplicity of it, and most importantly, I mentioned it a couple times, dropping the ego is going to be your quickest way to success. Gary Vee had a funny quote that I heard him say on one of his recent videos is like AI in 2026 and the predictions. He uses a basketball analogy where the ROI of a basketball for LeBron James is billions of dollars. But the ROI to a basketball to him is 2 torn meniscus and probably negative $50,000, which is true. If you don't understand how to use, like not everybody can use every single tool, but with these people are the experts in their seats. So they have their own basketball to an extent. It's like once then you've got your team who's utilizing these tools as their experts so they can be successful. But until you allow people to be the experts utilizing the tool, which in Gary Vee's example is just the basketball, but everybody's got their own tool or system. This is where you truly unlock an AI first business. You really do. So to kind of wrap this whole thing up, CEOs, I'm telling you, you're going to ruin your business, or it's just going to get to a point where it's going to flatline. You're going to have a whole bunch of resentment to your team. You're going to fire your whole team, and you're going to realize that it actually wasn't your team's fault. Operators, you need to grow a set of stones and tell your CEO that they need to come back because they need to understand how it works, because it's not your team's fault. Like I was saying, 95% of the world doesn't know how to use AI at all. Using ChatGPT does not count for running your business. So as a CEO and an operator, you need to go back in and audit your bucket. Where are you leaking water? Go into those. Look at the processes. What are the processes? Can we optimize things? Because these things have to be optimized for AI. Help fix them so you can understand the process even more. Build the 4-part on how AI integrates into all of these. Patch them up. Start feeding it more vision and cross other buckets, because this is where it will allow you to spread into other verticals. Maybe you're only an email and you want to expand into content, doing all these things, whatever it may be, but you can expand into more verticals because the process is the exact same. Vision without execution is dangerous. We know this. And then knowledge without the vision is pointless as well. So they come hand in hand. It really is. So if you're a CEO watching this, trust me as a CEO. If you're an operator, trust me as well, because I'm running operations and I do this every single day. This is stuff that we were running into over the last 3 years building Cloud 37. And until I got back in with the team, we were just filling it up with vision and we couldn't get it figured out. It doesn't have to be complicated, so just make it simple. Other than that, like I was saying, I am challenging myself to 196 pieces of content in the month of February. So like, subscribe, because content's going to be like this. It's raw, it's unfiltered, and I'm doing everything in my power to give you the blunt truth of how this AI world works and the future of your business. Head over to Instagram, direct message me 196 so you can get early access to this AI system that I'm building to be able to put this content out. But with that being said, simplify your life, be a better CEO, be a better operator, make your team's life less stressful, and as always, stay dialed.